So now, what is optimum working frequency? So far we studied about what is critical frequency, what is maximum usable frequency. But what will happen to this optimum working frequency is, so you already studied about MUF. So that is called maximum usable frequency. That is the maximum peak of value of the frequency that will give back our original signal. But most of the time the maximum usable frequencies never work. So what will happen at the time is, so maximum 80 to 90 percentage of the maximum usable frequency only can be utilized properly. At that particular range only you are going to get exactly your wave come back to the ground surface. So now, so that is why I can write in that what is our optimum frequency. OF I can written this is 80 to 90 percentage, but most of the cases what you will take is 85 percentage on an average, 85 percentage of maximum usable frequency. So I can also write this is simply 0.85 into so frequency of maximum usable frequency. So now I can written as this is an optimum working frequency. In the shortcut form you can say that OWF, or sometimes you can name it as an OF, that is optimum frequency. So the next topic is virtual height or actual height. So the virtual height or actual height, so how we are going to decide this one is the height at which how much length it is going to take to travel from the ground surface to the ionosphere. The same distance again it will travel from the ionosphere to the ground surface. That complete height you can name it as an virtual height or actual height. So but practically it is not possible. So if you observe this one, so here I can say this, so there is an ionospheric point here. So I am just transferring the signal from the earth surface. It is going to transfer here and it is coming down here. So now what I can say that the length of this one and the length of this one both are same, the same distance both are traveled, and both the signal how much I am transmitted from here, the same signal is received at the receiver. So that height from the bottom to the top you can just take it as it is an virtual height. But the problem is it will never be a virtual height is an constant one. Why? Because so whenever the wave is transferred, whenever it will hit the first layers, definitely it should have some refractive index. So there may be some losses, definitely some bending will come. So whenever the bending will come, so again it will go to the next small layer, refractive index is changing. So the waveform is coming like this. That means it will never be a perfect one like our virtual height. So you will never get the virtual height in practical, but instead of that you can get only your physical or actual height from like this only. So from here to here only you can just calculate practically, but in practically you will never calculate the virtual height. Why? Because this type of wave propagation is never exist. So and also one more thing, you can say that the virtual height is always greater than our physical height. So just now we seen it. So the next one is ray path and skip distance. So what is ray path? The ray path is it is in simply followed the path. So followed the path for an electromagnetic wave. So in what direction electromagnetic wave is traveling, the same path you can name it as an ray path. And the skip distance, so the skip distance I can just explain through a waveform. So now suppose there is an earth surface like this, so there is an ionosphere layers like this, some ionosphere layers are there. So first, so earth surface means I can take any type of curvature or whatever it is. Suppose it is an earth surface. So now I am giving my statement for the skip distance at a constant frequency. The first thing is at a constant frequency. That frequency is always greater than our critical frequency, undoubtedly. That frequency I am choosing at greater than critical frequency. Now the first I am going to use the same frequency of wave operation. I am incidenting through a particular angle. Suppose theta I is my incident angle. So whenever I am incidenting that wave from the transmitting antenna, suppose it is keep on going up, but what will happen is it may be a penetrate to the upper layer. It may be penetrate to the outer layer. That means it will crosses the entire layer. And again I am just going to change my theta I. So that means suppose this is 1, this is second incident angle. I am just bending and I am going to transfer. So at that particular time what will happen? So at that particular time also it will be escape. So in these two conditions my waveform is escaped. Now again I am going to change the angle of incidence. So now what will happen is there may be a possibility of getting the reflection. And again I am keep on changing my reflection. So that's why it is coming like this. Again I am going to change my reflection. It is coming like this. So from this graph what we can understand is the first angle of incidence, at what angle we are going to incident, the some particular theta I. So that particular theta I, the first time it is going to given the first reflection. So if you keep on increasing also you are getting the perfect reflected wave. But how much the first shortest distance? This distance you can name it as an skip distance. So now we are starting with some angle of incident, but at a particular angle only you are getting the reflected. That means what? Below this reflected angle it will never get reflection. That means what? Below this again the waveform will go escape from this only. So at that particular position, so how much shortest distance it is measured from the transmitter to the receiver at a particular at a particular angle of incidence, that distance you can name it as an skip distance. Clear? Okay, so now if you see the problem, a radio link has to be established between the two earth stations placed at a distance of 25,000 km between them. So that means what? There is a transmitter and receiver sections. So the distance between these two is given as 25,000 kilometers. So now if the height of the ionosphere is at 200 km and its critical frequency is given, that means what? The height is given to up to the ionosphere. So this is what? So this is in transmission, it is in reflection, the height is already given. So that means so what I can write, that the given data is the distance is given 25,000 kilometers, and after that the height is given as 200 kilometers, and after that the critical frequency is given, that is 5 megahertz. And after that calculate the maximum usable frequency for a given path. So what is the maximum usable frequency? So what is maximum usable frequency? We have the direct formula. Maximum usable frequency is equal to the FCR is multiplied with 1 plus d by 2h whole square. So if suppose he mentioned that it is in curved earth, then only you can go for the another formula. But if he didn't mention anything, just assume that this is an flat earth surface only. So that's why you can directly take this formula only. Just substitute the values. What is FCR here? So the FCR is given is 5 megahertz, 5 into 10 to the power of 6, and is multiplied with 1 plus what is the D is 25,000 kilometers 10 cube by h is equal to 2 into h 200 kilometers whole square. So now if you simplify this one, so how much you are getting here is, this is exactly equal to the 312.5399 5399 megahertz. So 312.5399 megahertz, that is what maximum usable frequency. That means the first portion is completed. Calculate the MUF for the given path. And he asked the one more thing, also calculate electron density in the ionospheric layer. So if you want to find out the electron density, so what is electron density? So that is exactly equal to the Nmax. So how we are going to calculate the Nmax? We all know that. So the Nmax is given, how is, we know that the critical frequency is equal to square root of 81 into Nmax. So from this expression you can simplify. So I can simplify this one. Nmax is equal to, square is will go that side, so that means FCR square by 81. So now how you can calculate the electron density? So here the FCR, we know that what is the FCR is given as 5 megahertz, 5 into 10 to the power of 6 megahertz whole square by 81. So from this what I can calculate, Nmax, if you simplify this one, it is approximately will given as 3.0864 into 10 to the power of 11 cubic meter or per meter cube, or per meter cube. This is what we got it. So what is the electron density if you know the critical frequency? So we know that the critical frequency refractive index 0, by that formula only we got this result. So we simply substituted and we got our answer. That is what our electron density. Thank you.